Yeah, so let's get into the story. So, January 26, 1986, I was born to parents Joseph and Diana Phillips. Um, and we resided in, where I am from right now, Bellahall, Cape Town, South Africa. And those are easy times. Those easy times. I My memories of obviously my babyhood since then. Um, I don't remember so well. I have one or two maybe memories. I don't know if I made it up or not, but I could think the memories we had to go to way prior to when my brother was born in 1990. I remember, and I think um, growing up, um, they say that when during therapy, they say that people that tend to remember this far back in life maybe had traumatic experiences at the time, and I think the reason I remember this only from this point on some, you know, my events from this point on is because it was a traumatic event that took place at the time. So I think it was about 4 years, 3 years old, 3 years old, I think. So I'm trying to go with my dad to church because our kids are, they always cry to go everywhere when the car starts. They want to go with. So so I'm trying to go with my dad. He's on his way to an evening service in the week at church, and I'm trying to go with him. So he goes to the shop and he buys me like a packet of sweets. Now, back in the day, sweets were very, very cheap. I'm also gonna delve into the economic scene, but I think it was probably 1 rand sweets, but it was all bag full of sweets. Bought it for me, brought it for me, and then I was waiting for him to leave at the front door because I'm going with him. And he went out the back door. I heard the car start. He drove off. Obviously, I was crying and whatever. But what what occurred then was on his way on route to church, he was in a horrible car accident. Um, the car, a drunk driver came from, hit him on the left hand side where I would have been, and drove right over our car. And my dad was hospitalized for like 2 or 3 weeks. I had to go for some major op, I don't know, to get some of the glass and stuff removed. So yeah, that marked the point where I could have been dead. I mean, seeing my dad in hospital at the time was I didn't understand because obviously he didn't come over from church. So and we having to visit him in hospital and so forth. Because obviously I was asking questions. Where is my dad? Why isn't he coming home? And they obviously took me to him in hospital and so forth. And it was kind of tough to see my dad like that. But okay, wasn't the worst thing. Got over that and so forth. Now here's the thing, and this is where the actual fun starts. So all you youngsters out there that born in the last, I don't know, 20 years, maybe 20 years, I don't know. I think it's been eradicated for about 20 years. Yeah, I'm 35 at the moment, going 36, and like 20 years. I think, yeah, 15 was, I think, no, I lie. 99 was the last time. Um, I was actually I wouldn't say a victim of corporal punishment, but it was administered to myself. So I was about uh, 13 years old. Now, we would call it corporal punishment. Our parents just call it hidings. And I just want to paint a picture for you firstly of what this consisted of, what it was about, what it is for, and I don't know. You won't find it in any museums, you won't find any videotapes of it. But anyway, I can just paint you a picture. So what it was that they used to call it, or say it was a discipline. They're going to discipline you. Now there were rules to this disciplining. First of all, any adult who discipline you um, at will, however, whenever they felt like it. Um, but discipline was administered when you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You fucked up somewhere. But in those days, fucking up didn't mean almost murdering somebody. Anything that's not morally at that point acceptable within society was deemed a fuck up. So that being said, there was like a universal in the neighborhood or in the within the social realm that you're in, or to your parents that was socially that was set rules, so to speak, that was universal, that you had to go by. And but anyway, first of all, rule number one: any adult who discipline you, it doesn't matter if you know them by name or by face or whatever the case may be. If they felt like fucking you up, you got fucked up. Now, rules of engagement was, I guess, you do what you're told. You know, children should be, you know, I don't know what they used to say, but anyway, it was just basically that you need to behave yourself in the manner that we taught you. You don't speak when adults speak. You don't speak. You don't involve yourself in adult conversations. You do as I tell you to do as an adult, or especially your parents. And if you don't do what we tell you to do, or if you do what we didn't tell you to do, we'd fuck you up. So much so that eventually, as you grew up, so I think the appropriate hiding age was like, I don't know, when you start speaking, or 2 years old. I don't know when your fuck up anniversary starts. As far as I know, I was fucked up since I was born. I think I was fucked up every day since birth. But anyway, getting back to it. So any adult will fuck you up for you fucking up. And it didn't cost you much to fuck up. Now, you had to earn everything back in the day. Earn your playtime, earn your snack, earn your luxury, your sweet, and that, and that type of shit. And so what would happen is, like, let me tell you my experiences. So, um, yeah, there's so many coming to mind right now, but your parents prepare you for the world, right? And they try to teach you some morals and values as a baby or whatever the case may be, until you can speak, until you can walk, until you don't wear that nappy no more. And then they fucking just give you that pop house on your butt. You know what I'm saying? And the dialogue was normally uh, was outrageous, like between your parents, or when you're tired, when you fuck up, you do childish things. You like, I want this, and it's late, and and they just say, I need to moeg, hy's moeg, laat hy gaan slaap. He's tired, let him go sleep. Now, back in the day, they used to fuck you up before you go sleep. Remember, they used to beat the shit out of you and then tell you to go sleep. You know what I'm saying? Randomly, by hand, especially with my belt. Belt was the go-to fuck up mechanism. But know that it was a learning curve. And know that getting fucked up didn't happen once a day. It was a daily occurrence. And you could get you there was no limit to getting fucked up. You could get hiding a whole day if you fucked up all day. But back then, the hierarchy was your dad does the disciplining in the house, um, and it ends with him. So that's the last. So remember, the rules are your dad is the one that fucks you up ultimately, and that's where it ends. So if you got fucked up by anybody else other than your dad, know that just know that your dad was the last one to fuck you up. Um, so you might go through a chain of fuck ups depending on who opens the door. You know. So in the beginning, before you go out into the world, before you even go play outside, or can mix with the neighbors' children, um, there were certain rules that they taught you, and there were certain manners they taught you. And when you fuck up, they give you hiding, beat your ass either with a hand or with a belt. You try, and then you try again, and then okay, no, you're not ready to go outside yet. You must just play in the house until you now earned your, your outside time. Now, um, this fuck ups was to prepare you for something bigger than what you would imagine, because your parents would fuck you up every day, whole day sometimes, um, for the shit you caught on because you're not listening, you're not disciplining, you're not disciplined, whatever, and so on. Now you go to creche, basically preschool. Now, I don't know if you got fucked up in creche for the mere fact that most of my creche days or most of my kindergarten days I spent at my grandparents' house. They'd fetch me. They'd fetch me at my parents' house because we lived down the road around the corner. And then we'd walk past the kindergarten, but I would go home with him. You know, my parents would pay for creche, but then my mother would get mad as a motherfucker when she finds out that I've never been in creche. But anyway, then they put me in a creche further away, and in the last year before school, I actually went to creche for that year because they had to take me personally, whatever. Anyway, getting back, so I don't know if you got fucked up in creche that much. However, so the fuck ups prepared you basically for school, and that is where the emphasis lies, because they fucked you up. Now, I didn't go to I never went to preschool. I didn't go to grade all. I went straight to grade one. So, oh yeah, I was special like that, clever like that. And but they prepared you for your educational life, and that's where things got real. So they'd fuck you up, but they wouldn't be that hard on you, you know. Okay, my dad was he fucked you up, but they prepared you for the world of your educational career, so to speak. So you get hiding with a belt. I'm not talking about a limit to um like you're gonna get 10 spanks or whatever the case may be. No, no, no. They used to fuck you up, nigga, and they used to ask you. So you got fucked up in syllables. And when I say syllables, they take the belt off. They would ask you, what did I tell you? Wat ik vir jou gesê? Huh? Wat het ek vir jou gesê? What did I tell you? Did I not with they would move? Did I not tell you to not do that? Huh? Huh? But it's a very worry. It's a very worry. It's a very as long as it whatever fuck up you had, as long as it took them to explain to you what you did 3 times, every word was a lash. Now you must know. So you go through those meetings. Why did you wake up late? Wat het ek vir jou gesê? Dit moet 7 o'clock staan. Sy staan 5 past 7 op. Huh? Whatever. If you space, you get up, you crying. That's what you said. Then they had the nerve. They had the fucking nerve to say to you, hoekom heel thing they used to tell you, what the fucking you up is to tell to you. Hoekom heel thing? Shut up, why are you crying? Go to your room before I give you something to cry about. That meaning that if you cry too long or linger on that fucking hiding too long, you need to go to your room and calm yourself down because you will be like, and they I don't want to hear you. You can't worry. Right, so that was the vibe. So right, so you sit in your room, be like, you know that type of shit for a while, and then they come in, and you just hear it open. They would still have the audacity to come into your room. They come into your room while you're crying. Yeah, no, I know this is that funny for me saying, for me sitting here laughing with myself, but they would still come into your room while you're sitting there. They fucked you up. I'm talking about now. Let me paint you a picture. Your father had so all the dads back in the day with their pantsers, they had this Pierre Cardin pantsers with what they call number plates on. They had a little plate on the belt thingy, and then they all had this Pierre Cardin belts, which was leather, but was like the thin ones. Ideal for fucking up kids. I think they designed it for fucking you up because it wasn't the thick ones. You would think the thick ones, nah, that's not the thick ones. It's like half the thick one. Genuine leather. Every dad had that belt. That was his belt to fuck a kid up. Anyway, because they would the way they had a style to put up, and they would hold it in the hand, and they ask you all this shit you want to ask you, and then they have you by the fucking arm like this in the air, you dangling with one toes on the one side. It's really emotional. Anyway, so they meet you up. They come, they come to your room, and they tell you, say this fucked you up like 2 minutes ago. So you have to now digest this in 2 minutes. Take your whole cry with you. Look at your Zorro marks on your fucking arms because those dumbbells used to. The more you try to fucking cover attack Mr. Miyagi, the shots, the more when it wraps around, it leaves like little like bruises. So you trying to count all the bruises on your arm, your war scars, sitting there. Then they will swing that door open on you. And once they swing that door open to see if you're still crying, then you should. And once they close the door again, they just give you the look and you're like, and once they close the door again, you're like, you lay and cry yourself to sleep for the whole day and you think about the fuck up. And 2 hours later, you fuck up again and it's the same thing. Maybe 4 or 5 times a day. But they would be preparing you for when you go to school. Now, when you go to school, in today's day and age, it's a bit different. Then, when you went to school, first day of school, your inventory list. You need two school pants, extra pants in your school, another extra pair of underwear in your bag, and yeah, you need another extra school pants, another underpants in your bag, and so forth. You're supposed to be potty trained, but anyway, there's a reason for it. So you go to school, and this is where you find out shit just got real. So you think you're going to go fuck up at school. If you thought back in the day you're going to school to go fuck up, you had another thing coming. Okay? It was no fucking up. I can remember coming to grade one. First day was still first day fun day. Meet and greet because there's the kids they bring to school, they're still crying after their parents. So they have to ease them into it, that's there for 3 days. Man, after day three, they stuck the fear of God in you. And there was a reason there was a reason and this is when I say there was a reason for the second pants or the second underpants was let me explain how that happened. So we had the three grade one classes. Let me paint you the picture. Three grade one classes next to one another. I went to Erika Primary School in Bell also. The principal at that time was Mr. Armadine. I was in Miss Abrams' class. I remember that. Wow. So with the first class at the close to the principal's office, and then sub A, say sub A. That time it was sub A, not grade one. Sub A2, sub A3, and we all line up in front of the principal's office to get into the class. So the first days you'd see, we all kids playing, before the first break bell, before the first break. Um, Next break comes, you see the class down there. They somewhat structured, more structured. They're not playing the fool anymore. The following day, second day, kids are still fucking crying, you know. And then you see the next class, the class next door, and they're more structured. And then you're like, okay, we still fucking up, we still being baboons. And you hear the next door teacher. The next door teacher will come around and be like, yo, fam, like, why is your class making so much noise? Like, don't worry, today's mad day. So anyway, you have these kids. And I don't want to mention any names because I think they're still alive. But there are some people that will remember this. You might want to ask. Oh yeah, shout out, rest in peace to Candace Samuels. Passed away a couple of years ago. One of my friends, and this is I met her at Erika Primary. She was actually in my class on sub A, and we actually went all the way through high school together to post matric. She passed away a couple of years ago. But anyway, we were at the same school, same grade one class. And so what happens is, so our class on day three, we there, teachers like sit on the red mat, story time. No, these little kids fucking up. On the blackboard, there's like this dust rail, and in the dust rail, there's the that you wipe the boards with, and then also there's like a stick with some tape wrapped around it. So some of the kids inquired what is this for. They were never told. The show and tell the situation, and on day three it was like, okay, sit the fuck down, all of you motherfuckers, sit down. Sat down on the mat, and so these two boys was two boys that were fucking up, and they had to we made the example of everybody to sit down. These two were still fucking up. Teacher did one of it, and it's hey, we had this little chairs with the metal legs and the wooden back plank and the wooden sit thing, and what happened was they took the these two kids they were told, come here, shout at, sit down, everybody shut the fuck up. No, hey, no. So they take the two kids, you come here and you come here. They're still thinking, what? Okay. Teacher takes that one boy, short. Just imagine short, grey pants, white shirt. Teacher got him over a lap. This is not how we got hiding at home, so we don't know. We none the wiser. Has him over a lap, ass in the air. And if you ever wondered why the short pants on the school pants has a built-in belt with two little clips, but at the back there's like a little. Well, that time it was like a little belt thingy. This is what it was. So the teacher takes the lady by that little thing, and his school pants is tight as shit. And she, in such a motion, reaches back, gets this stick with a sellotape around it from the blackboard, and she pursues to fuck this kid up. Now I'm talking about when that first fucking, I don't know what you want to call it, lash hits. That boy was airborne of the shock. He shot up about to where the teacher's tits is, trying to get away, and before he hit the lap again, the second one hits him and he's up and down, and the other boy's now in the corner over there. This one is trying to get away. They give him so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moves the one, picks him up, lets him go, and he darts to that corner. He tell this motherfucker, you come here. No, miss, no, miss, no, miss, no, miss. That's a no, miss. Come here, Zay. Het hulle vir hom is by die taai. Kom hier so. Oor die skoot. Don't come, no, miss me, no, miss. I won't fuck up again. No, 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 you fucked up already. Same Pangela. Jumps tits high. Moer him there. Couple up like 7 days. Poof, darts into the corner. Stands next to the other boy there. Pissing themselves. I'm talking about pissing themselves with. Besides them to pissing themselves, you got ladies here on the floor on the red mat pissing themselves for the site. Now, let me now get something quickly straight. We live in Belor, so it's divided by Erika Drive, and is the half fortunate side and then the very fortunate side, and then you get the not so other fortunate there at the back. But our parents decided to take us from that side where we have the not so fortunate schools, put us in the fortunate schools. I don't think these kids were used to corporal punishment. But myself, it was me that was on that side. Abrani Marcus, which was on that side. We were like four or five. That was sitting there like, why are y'all crying, man? This is what happens in our homes. So I don't think they were more fortunate. I don't think they expected that would never have it happen to them. But we said to be like, what the fuck? Kids was all crying, all traumatized. Now you must know. Don't fuck up anymore. Now shit just got real. Now you must know. This is a daily thing. You go to school, you fuck up, they will fuck you up. And that teacher don't know. They don't know you. If you fuck up, they fuck you up. And that's what your parents were preparing you for prior to you going to school. Your parents put you in school and they tell the principal, fuck him up. Don't write me a note to say Martin has been fucking up. Fuck Martin up. Don't write me a note and say you fucked him up. Good and well because of something. There's no way you could have gone home to school and say my teacher hit me. Why? I don't know. Now you fucked up again. You don't know. Now they move you. Until you know. Don't say you did nothing. Now they move you until you did something. But the rules were simple. Grown-ups can move you. Any grown-up. And no, they would never question a grown-up. Grown-ups was never to be questioned, but the morals and the values are in the right place. So if you fuck, so now you must know, you learn that at school that they fuck you up at school. In the neighbor could fuck you up because the neighbor knew the rules. That if you can't go past that point in the road. When you're playing outside, you can't go past that point. You go past that point, your parents don't see. Someone's gonna see you. They catch you there, they're gonna fuck you up. What you doing here? You know you don't belong here. They fuck you up. They fuck you up because you're with people you're not supposed to be with around the corner, you're gonna meet with these other guys that you're not supposed to be with, or they from the neck of the woods. That's not so great. They will take you in front of those people, fuck you up all the way from there, take you home and say, I fucked him up because he was with those kids, and because the communities looked after one another back in the day. So everybody knew everyone's business. Now, they fuck you up, they bring you home. Whoever receives you at the door fucks you up. So if it's your grandma, she fucks you up. If she's you, because you were normally with you at your grandma's place, she's fucked you up, and then she would tell your mom if your mom fetches you, or if your mom's there. Neighbor A just brought him up because he fucked up, and I fucked him up. Then your mom fucks you up, and then you must not wait till your dad gets home. They tell him he fucked you up. So they will always tell you if you fuck up, just wait till your dad gets home. So anyway, that was that fucked up story of the corporal punishment, and that was only grade one. So the idea is you would get fucked up now. Teacher fucking up, that's fine. They used to hit the girls on the hand, the boys on the ass. We didn't discriminate. The girls got fucked up too. Don't get it twisted. But then they send you to the principal's office, and this is where the real fuck up happens. Back in the day, we didn't know what the principal's. We thought the principal's duty was just to fuck you up, because he would be up and down on the fucking down the corridors and shit with his cane, with a cane, until the teacher called him, "I need your services." But that was usually for the older grades, like from grade 4 up, where the lady teachers didn't beat as hard as the male teachers did. So they would either call a male teacher next door, or you go to the principal's office. They had an intercom. Bring. Mr. Hamdeen, I'm sending him out to the office. He's fucking up. No problem. I'm getting warm. I'll be warming up. You get there, either there's a row of people getting fucked up, or if you're the only one there, hopefully you're not his first fuck up of the day, because then he's still fresh, man. Then you get fucked up, boy. I'm talking about fucked up. Principal was there to fuck you up. He had no other purpose but to fuck you up. That being said, from up to the year 1999, that was in schools. Luckily, in 2000 when I went to high school, or in 1999 when I went to high school, the only reason I got fucked up then was because we moved to a place up country in the Northern Cape, which got the memo very late. But I'll get to that again. So anyway, that was getting fucked up in a nutshell, which is a commodity that our youngsters today are missing out on, because it really taught us, myself, and the generation before me, a lot of respect and values, and it wasn't an abusive thing, as it was portrayed to be. Maybe there were people that took it a bit too far, but not. In my perspective, this was actually a very effective tool, a manner or means to, discipline the kids. And I mean, look at today's fuck ups. I mean, parents can fuck you up nowadays. I mean, kids fuck up daily. Parents go to school, fight with the teachers. I don't know, question other adults. And the community life was very close knit at the time. To be honest with you, community life was like your neighbors. Everybody knew one another. They looked after one another. They knew there wasn't very much. There were burglaries, but not so much. They knew what it was. They were going to fuck them up. That type of thing. And the economy was great. I mean, um, so yeah. That's let me end by you getting fucked up though. I'm gonna leave it there. And I'm gonna continue with the next segment. Um, at a later stage. Um, but that was basically the golden years. I mean, um, but families were closer. Your cousins were you not just your brothers and your sisters, but your cousins, your grandparents, your uncles, your aunties. You were all very close. They were more like brothers and sisters than cousins. You saw them every weekend or every other day. Um, your aunties, uncles as well. You saw them a month, like in the month, couple of times at the grandparents' place. But you always met at your grandparents' place. Um, and then yeah, up until your grandparents passes away, and as time went on, as the years progressed, family just got had less in its meaning. But in the golden years, it was great. All your family were your family. Your cousins was there all the time. They were more like your brothers and sisters, your immediate family, if you had anything else. But I'll explain to you over time where we should went wrong. So that was just the part of getting fucked up, and that is a key part of my of my story because I got fucked up every day for a lot of stupid shit. Um, but yeah. So that being the topic of this, not the topic of discussion, but being where I'm starting my whole situation. That was just is very interesting to the rest of the story. Anyway, for those of you who can relate, feel free to just share some of your fuck up stories. But yeah, so that's where I'm gonna leave it for now.